Walk of the Whales, written and illustrated by Nick Bland. Walk of the Whales. Walk of the Whales, written and illustrated by Nick Bland and published by Little Hare. When the whales walked out of the ocean and into the cities and towns, they were greeted with smiles from the children. From others, they only got frowns. The man selling fish was delighted. But the swimming pool users were not. And the lady who rented out bicycles was pumping up tires a lot. The trains were a bit overcrowded, but were filled with a beautiful song, and the ballet was slightly less graceful, but the dancers were awfully strong. Newspapers filled up with stories excuse me, about all the ups and the downs when the whales walked out of the ocean and into the cities and towns. But people grew tired of the rubbish, and the footpaths were covered in cracks. All of the restaurants ran out of fish, and their customers couldn't relax. The shopkeepers went out of business, and the bakers could not make the bread because farmers were flooding the countryside to grow plankton for whales instead. The statues were totally ruined when the rubbish attracted the birds, and before very long there were people shouting horrible anti-whale words. "Whales, go home!" they shouted. "Whales aren't welcome here." And then a girl called Frida yelled, "You've got the wrong idea." She leaned out from the balcony. "Excuse me, whale," she said. "Why did you leave the ocean behind to live on the land instead?" "The ocean is full of rubbish, you see. It's become like a gigantic bin. As soon as someone cleans it up, we'll all go right back in." So the people went into the ocean and brought all their rubbish ashore. The whales said goodbye to the children and went back to the sea evermore. Some folks remember with fondness and others remember with frowns when the whales walked out of the ocean and into the cities and towns. The end of the story. Walk of the Whales, certainly a book to get us thinking about all of the rubbish that does go into our oceans and how it affects our sea creatures that live in the oceans, and maybe, yes, something for us all to think about, keeping it a bit more tidy, because what would it be like if whales came into our cities and towns? I'll leave that question with you. Bye for now.